Good morning everyone. So today we will be discussing about frame door and panel door. So in the previous slide I have already discussed about batterned and the lasered door, batterned, lasered and the braced doors. Okay. So now we will be discussing about frame door and the panel door. Okay. As we have seen in our houses, mainly the frame door and the panel door have been constructed. Okay. So here it is a diagram of the frame door and the panel door, and these type of door are almost used in all the types of buildings, and this door consists of a framework of a vertical members called stile and the horizontal members called rails. Panels are made from timber, plywood and the blockboard. Okay, here I have already shown in the diagram. You can see here this all are the panels. Okay, this 6 all are the panels, and this is the top rail, this is a freeze rail, and this is a lock rail where we lock the system, and this is the bottom rail. Okay, these all consist of a frame door and the panel door. Okay, so next we will be reading about that is glazed doors and sash doors. So what do you mean by glazed doors? Here you can see the diagram of fully glazed doors, and here it is a diagram of partially glazed doors. Okay, in the fully glazed doors, this you can see here, these doors are fully glazed, that means these are fully made up of glass. Okay, and this you can see here in the partially glazed doors, it is half made up of glass and it is half made up of wood. Okay, so we can say that the glazed doors are provided where the additional light is required to be admitted to the room through the door, or where the visibility of the interior of the room is required from the adjacent room. Mainly you have seen in the offices, hospitals, libraries, showrooms, shopping units, these glazed doors have been constructed. Okay, the same it has been written here. Such doors are commonly used for the hospitals, offices, libraries, showrooms, shopping units, etc. And this can be made up of fully glazed and partly glazed. Fully glazed doors are recommended where the sufficient light is required through the door openings, like in the shopping malls, entrance halls. Okay, and in case of partly glazed doors, the bottom 1/3 part is usually paneled and upper 2/3 part is glazed. Okay, so we can see here the partly glazed doors. This is the, you can see this is partly glazed doors. The bottom that is 1/3 part is usually paneled and upper 2/3 part is glazed. Okay, so this is the fully glazed doors and partly glazed doors. So next we will be reading about that is collapsible steel doors. Here it is a diagram of collapsible steel doors. Okay, you have seen in the cinema halls, garages, you have seen these doors. So we can say that a collapsible door consists of a mild steel frame. Two vertical pieces of a mild steel channels about 15 mm to 20 mm wide are joined together with the hollow portion of the channels inside. Okay, you can see here this is the collapsible steel doors, and this is the top of the label, and this is the top of the opening, and this you can see here, these two are the handles of this collapsible steel doors. Okay, and these are made up of steel frame, and the length is about 15 mm to 20 mm wide, we can say it as, and by using these handles we close the doors. Okay, so here you can see the same images of collapsible steel doors. Okay, so a vertical gap of 12 mm to 15 mm is thus created. Such pieces are spaced at about 12 cm center to center and are joined together by the cross iron pieces. Okay, so we can say that a vertical gap of about 12 mm to 15 mm has been created, and the pieces are spaced about 12 cm center to center and are joined together by the cross iron pieces. The cross iron pieces are 10 mm to 15 mm wide and 15 mm thick. Okay, so we can say that this is the 15 mm, 10 to 15 mm wide and the 15 mm thick, the cross iron pieces. and these doors are mainly used in the entrance of the residential buildings, shops, garages, public buildings, sheds, godowns. Okay, so these doors are used in this type of buildings. So next we will be reading about, that is, rolling shutter doors. Okay, you have been seen in the shops, the rolling shutter doors have been placed there or have been constructed there. Okay, you can see the images of the rolling shutter doors. Okay, this is a drum. This is the drum. You can see here. This is a drum and this is the shutter. This is a locking arrangement and these two are the handles. Okay, so we can say that a roller shutter or the roller door or the sectional overhead door is a type of a door or the window shutter consisting of a many horizontal slat hinged together. Okay, and they are commonly used for the shops, godowns, stores, etc. The door shutter acts like a curtain and thus provide protection against the wind and rain against the safety measures. The shutter moves into vertical guide channels installed at their ends. The channels is made up of steel sheets and deep enough to accommodate the shutter and to keep it in position. Okay, so we use these doors in the shops, godowns, stores. Okay, and these doors are mainly provide protection against the wind and the rain and safety against the fire. And you can see these doors. Okay, these are the shutters. It is made up of steel sheets and it is deep enough to accommodate the shutter to keep it in the position. Okay, so these are the all about the rolling shutter doors. Next, we will be reading about what are the types of windows. There are 6 types of windows. We will be reading about this. First is casement window, sliding window, metal window, gavel window, dormer window, lantern window. Okay, so we will be reading one by one. First, we will be reading about casement window. Okay, here you can see the diagram of casement window. In our houses or in our buildings, we have been seen this window. Okay, so these are the main and common types of window usually provided in our buildings. The shutter of the window open like the shutter of the door, and the construction of the casement window is just smaller to the door construction. A casement window consists of a frame, tiles, top rails, bottom rails and the intermediate rails, thus dividing into panels. Okay, as you have seen in your houses, many of our buildings or many of our houses, this casement window has been constructed or has been used. Okay, this window is like a shutter open. Okay, while we are opening the shutter of the door, in the same way we will open the shutter of the window. And the construction of this casement window is just smaller to the door construction. Okay, and this casement window consists of a frame, stiles, top rail, bottom rail and the intermediate rail, thus dividing into panels. So next we will be reading about, that is, sliding windows. Okay, so what do you mean by sliding windows? Many of our offices or many of our construction companies, we use the sliding windows. Okay, so we can say that this is the images of the sliding windows. You can see here. On many of our houses, we also use the sliding windows. The shutters are slided on the roller bearings either vertically or horizontally. The shutter of this type of window consists of one or more panels which can slide either on one side or both the sides, and they are commonly used in the railway trains, buses, residential building, hospitals, etc. Okay, so these shutters, in the sliding window, the shutters are mainly slided either vertically or horizontally, or we can say that this type of windows we can slide either on one side or the both side we can slide, and they are commonly used in the railway trains, buses, residential buildings, offices, hospitals. Okay, so this slide window have been used in many of our buildings, in many of our houses. Okay, so next we will be reading about, that is, metal window in the next slide. Okay. Thank you.